watching. You're watching Stay Connected with Mel Robbins. This is a live global broadcast that we do every single weekday around the world at the exact same time. I'm very proud of the fact that I am early today. That's new. I'm early today. So I want to give you a chance to get in and get settled because this is supposed to start. If you're in the West Coast on the United States, it starts at 9 a.m. If you are in the East Coast, this starts at noon. If you are in the UK, I go live every weekday at 4. If you are on the, let's see, in India, we go live every day at 9:30. I just say hello as you come in. Tell me where you are watching from right now. It's really interesting. Instagram's very sluggish at the moment. But tell me where you're watching from. If it's the UK, let me know. If it's India and it's 9:30 at night, let me know. Dear Lord, if you're in Australia and it is 3 o'clock in the morning, please, I hope you are not watching this because I hope you are sleeping. Last night here at the house, I am Mel Robbins. Welcome. You are watching Stay Connected with Mel Robbins. It is a weekday broadcast that I do as a way for you to take a moment to pat yourself on the back. You're here. You're making it. You're doing a great job. We got this. We are going to get through this moment of unprecedented collective uncertainty and anxiety together. And here on the broadcast, I give you the tools and the strategy and the encouragement that you need to not only get through this moment of unprecedented anxiety and uncertainty, but dare I say, find moments of joy, find deeper connection, and also use this as an opportunity to build what I think is the most important superpower on the planet, and that is self-awareness. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, self-awareness and emotional eating. So let me start off first. Oh no, I'm paused due to a poor connection. Let me get on the internet. I should probably send my husband around. Mandy, could you call, I'm talking to my producer, will you call Chris and tell him to please circle around the house and get everybody off the live stream in the household? This is going to be interesting because we have 3 kids at home that are now back at school, and guess what? They're all on Zoom. And I think it may interfere with our live broadcast at times. And I forgot to walk around and tell everybody that I was broadcasting at noon today. If you're just joining me, welcome. I'm super excited to be here with you. Please tell me where you're watching from. I see, let's see. Wow, somebody watching from the Hawaiian Islands. That's fantastic. San Diego, welcome. I see you. I'm super excited that you're here. Thank you for your patience this morning. Let me ask one of my producers, Thousand Oaks, California. Hello, London, where it's 4:03. South Africa, I'm so thrilled you're here. Pennsylvania, I see you. Kurdistan, thank you. Miami, Florida, I love it. We have a global audience. Lebanon, we're thrilled you're here. One of the things that I wanted to say is one of the reasons why I forgot to go around and talk to the kids is last night, our daughter was coughing all night long and was up multiple times. So I'm a little slow on the uptake today because I am tired. Like you, this is a brand new experience for me. This COVID-19 coronavirus self-isolation global uncertainty moment. And I am navigating it with you and I'm getting so much strength from you. So thank you so much for being here. Did you reach Chris? Okay. Okay, I'm on it. And how's the stream on Facebook? Give me a thumbs up if the stream's on Facebook and everything looks good there. Okay, great. We're going to jump into it. So let me start over for those of you that had trouble getting on because I had a bad connection on Instagram. For those of you on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, thanks for your patience. So today is March 24th. Welcome. This is Stay Connected. I'm Mel Robbins, and I am the author of The 5-Second Rule, which has been translated into 32 languages, sold millions of copies around the world, and 3 #1 bestsellers on Audible that are all about your mental fitness and anxiety and taking control of your life. And I want to talk about emotional eating today. Have you noticed that your eating has gone off the rails, or is it just me? I feel like it's noon here outside of Boston, and I'm ready for my 5th meal of the day. Give me some thumbs up if you find that in some way or other, all of the uncertainty of this moment is making your eating habits completely change for the better, for the worse. It could make you eat more, which is what happens to me. I also want to be very careful about this topic because one of our daughters has struggled, particularly in high school, with dysmorphia and body images. And her therapist said she was borderline anorexic, whatever that means. It means that she wasn't eating and she was restricting her intake. And I know that right now is an incredibly triggering moment in time for people that are in recovery for eating disorders or any other kind of addictive behavior like that. And so I want to talk about emotional eating because I've been noticing that my own eating habits have gone off the rails. And I've also been noticing these memes and these topics going around. Like, have you heard of quarantine 15? Apparently it's the 15 pounds everybody's going to gain while you're in quarantine, or COVID 1919. And these memes of the before and after. And while they may seem funny in the moment, emotional eating is a very serious topic. And the reason why it's a serious topic is because it ties into stress, negative emotions, and your self-awareness. Self-awareness, you're going to hear me talk about this a million times. I think it is one of the most important skills on the planet. Self-awareness is not only knowing thyself, but it's your ability to manage your emotions and your emotional response to the things that are going on around you. And if you do not have self-awareness, oftentimes what happens is you respond out of hurt, you respond out of fear, you respond out of pain. And what I want to teach you today is I want to teach you the self-awareness that you need in this moment of time to really be mindful about your health and about your eating habits. I want you to come from this place, from your heart. I want you to come from a place of being kind to yourself. And I want you to come from a place of supporting yourself. The conversation that we're about to have about emotional eating, this is not about body shaming. Not at all. It's normal to feel stressed out in unprecedented, uncertain times. And it is normal to want to try to comfort yourself. I want to have a conversation with you about you being healthy mentally, physically, and emotionally, which is why I want to talk about this topic, because the greatest skill on the planet is self-awareness. And self-awareness allows you to stand in the discomfort of a moment like this and be okay, and to know that you can rely on yourself. So first, I want to start by talking to you. How have you noticed that this moment in time has impacted your eating? First of all, have you noticed a change at all? And secondly, how has it changed? I just said that it's about noon here, 12:08 to be exact, and I'm already craving my 5th meal of the day. So I am certainly eating a hell of a lot more. I've also noticed that when the grocery bags come home from the grocery store, whoever it is that goes out for the run, that there's always things in it that we normally wouldn't buy. For example, Lucky Charms, which is not a cereal that our family ever buys, somehow made its way in the grocery bags a couple days ago. So did s'mores fixing, enough basically to serve an entire summer camp. I see Angelette saying she's eating more snacks, not the healthy kind. I'm eating constantly. I was dairy free. Now I'm not. I'm craving chocolate all the time. The comfort foods. I want more sugar. Exactly. You're eating more carbs. I eat worse and I eat less. I eat whatever's in front of me. I see your comments. And so I see that this unprecedented moment is 1,000% triggering you to change the way that you heat. And you might not even be thinking about what Candy Knock just said, anxiety and stress eating. My breakfast is my coffee. I'm cooking healthy meals, but I'm eating a lot more than I do. I see your comments rolling in. I am struggling with this as well. And so let's talk about, what do you do in this moment? Because first of all, I want you to feel comfortable. I want you, since you're already having to go through so much discomfort and uncertainty, I want you to feel really good. And I don't want you to make yourself wrong. And I think this sort of response to the amount of stress that we're feeling is really a normal response, because there's so many things that are triggering your negative emotions. But now it's time for you to tune back in, because the truth is, whatever it is that's stressing you out, the answer is not going to be in the fridge. It's just not. I'm going to say that again. Whatever it is that's stressing you out, the answer to dealing with that stress is not in the fridge. And so the first place that we need to start when it comes to self-awareness and unpacking this new emotional eating that we're all engaged in right now is, you've got to start by asking yourself the question, why? Why am I eating? Why am I reaching for this? Why am I no longer allowing myself or making myself stay off the gluten? Why am I doing all of this that I know it's bad for me, but at the moment I like it? Well, here's the thing that I want you to understand about emotional eating. Emotional eating is when you reach for food to comfort a negative emotion. And when you find yourself being triggered by negative emotions and it impacting your eating habits, it's a symptom of something bigger. It's a symptom of some kind of negative emotion that you're uncomfortable feeling. And so I want to start by asking you a question. Okay, here we go. You ready, everybody? What is the negative emotion that triggers you the most to either stress eat or not eat at all because you're so stressed? What's the emotion? For me, I just want to say what mine is, and then we're going to go to you, because you're right. I see DeWichika saying there's also emotional undereating. You're absolutely right. There is. And I see my daughter doing that. And I know Megan on our team is undereating right now out of the stress. For me, the big trigger, boredom. Boredom. And if I'm not busy, I don't know what to do with myself. That's what I'm learning about myself. But if I go a little deeper than boredom, I think it's fear. I think it's the unknown. Like, I'll walk off of this live stream, you guys, and I've got 15 minutes. I see the things you're saying: lonely, unsure, insecurity, boredom, loneliness. Loneliness is a huge one, everybody. And I'm going to talk to you about the 5 things that we're getting from feeding our emotions. You see, we're not even eating food when we reach for stuff and we're not thinking about it. We're feeding emotions. I see I'm numbing. I see sadness. I see overthinking, aggression. It makes me so defensive and stressed out. These are the things that are making you mindlessly reach for food that you know is making you feel bad about yourself. And, you know, I'm going to talk about all of the reasons why we do this and a few things that I want you to think about, because today's broadcast, I gave you so much information yesterday about addressing financial anxiety. I want today to just be more of lifting you up and making you feel encouraged and giving you a little bit of perspective and insight so that you can gain back a little bit of control, so that you can build some awareness, some self-awareness, which is going to give you the resiliency and the kindness towards yourself to make better choices. I know we have some other people, Megan or Mandy, so just give them to me in my ear. So we have fear of the unknown, fear and anxiety. And I also see that there's a lot of fear that you're feeling about the financial uncertainty that you're facing. Excellent job, everybody. Excellent. Because the first step of building self-awareness is to stop, take a pause, and to have the courage to turn inward and examine the discomfort that you're feeling. Okay. And so one of the things that I've noticed is that when I'm bored, I reach for food. That when the day isn't packed with things to do, I sort of move it along by eating. And that can be a good thing if you're planning meals that make you happy, that make you healthy. It can be a good thing if you're cooking a great dinner. And one of the live streams we talked about last week, do family dinners every night. But I've even noticed my kids are emotionally eating. So we sat down for dinner last night, and Oakley, our 15-year-old son, pulled up to the table, and I'd made this awesome dinner, took all this time with this new recipe I'd never made. And he's like, "This looks great, but I'm not hungry." I'm like, "What do you mean you're not hungry? It's 7:30 at night." He said, "Well, I had a bowl of cereal an hour ago." I'm thinking, holy cow. I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "I don't know. I was bored." So we're all feeling it right now. And here's one of the things that I want to ask you. When you feel yourself reaching for something to comfort yourself, to soothe the boredom, to soothe the fear, to soothe the anxiety, to soothe the loneliness, does it come up like abruptly? Do you find yourself craving the same things? And then after you've pounded down the bowl of Lucky Charms, or you've had a second bowl of ice cream, or you've eaten your third lunch for the day, which seems to be the thing that I'm doing. I'm just eating tons and tons and tons of meals because whenever I'm not doing something, I feel like I need to be doing something. I'm clearly uncomfortable being still. I'm clearly uncomfortable with boredom. I'm clearly uncomfortable staying still, because when I get still, you know what happens for me? Does this happen for you? My mind starts to think. And I start to think about what's going on, and I start to feel a little bit afraid about the uncertainty. And then I literally reach immediately, abruptly, for something I'm craving, or something I see right there, a cookie, a Rice Krispie treat, something that's out that I can see, I grab. And then, of course, once I eat it, I think, well, why the hell did I do that? I haven't even, what am I doing? So I see that you're feeling the same way. That it's abrupt, that it's things that you crave, that then you make yourself wrong. And this is the cycle that happens. And this is the reason why I want to talk about this. You can, if you want to just eat, and it makes you feel fabulous, go for it. This isn't about body shaming you. And while I think that this moment of time is an enormous opportunity for you and for me to work on our self-awareness and to work on our resiliency and to show the people in our life what it's like to face uncertainty and to meet it and to stand in the discomfort, that is the definition of courage. It is. That's a huge opportunity. But the thing that I want you to realize is that if you don't address how you're coping with the bigger negative stressors of the fear, the uncertainty, the anxiety, the loneliness, the sadness. Maybe there's a lot of conflict in your house right now. I see a lot of you talking about conflict. I see a lot of you talking about fighting in your house, and that drives you into the kitchen. If you don't deal with the bigger issue, which is the discomfort of standing in these emotions, when we come through the other end of this, what I don't want you feeling is I don't want you making yourself wrong. I don't want you beating yourself up. I don't want you emerging from this feeling like, oh my God, why did I let myself gain weight? Why did I let myself go? And so right now is an opportunity to develop self-awareness, to stand in the discomfort, to stand in the boredom, to face the fear and not need a brownie in order to get through it. And so let me tell you why we eat our emotions. That's what we're doing. We're feeding emotions when you mindlessly eat, okay? And so as I'm telling you this, I want you to tell me, what emotion are you feeding? And if one of the reasons why, there are 5 reasons why we feed our negative emotions. It's a coping strategy, okay? There are 5 reasons why we do it. First of all, this is a big one, and this is particularly a big one for those of you in recovery for any kind of eating issue. Food is something you think you can control. And so it is a way for you to try to create certainty at a moment in time when things feel so uncertain. And that's why anybody that's in recovery right now, it's so important to be patient with yourself. It's so important to be kind with yourself, because you do not want to reach for destructive coping mechanisms to cope with the deeper issue of feeling uncertain about where this goes. I promise you, you can stand in this discomfort and you can face it. And if we stay connected, and if you continue to get daily encouragement, you will absolutely emerge stronger. The second reason why we feed our negative emotions is in order to numb them. Literally, you're burying the fear and the uncertainty and the anxiety and the stress with food, so you don't have to feel the emotion. You're present to the eating, you're present to a full stomach, you're present to the taste, and that way you're no longer feeling that negative emotion. The third reason why we feed our negative emotions, and I guarantee you, this is one that's going to hit home. If this hits home, I want to hear how this hits home for you. Food acts like a friend. So if you're isolated right now, if you're alone right now, if you feel alone, even if you're in a full home right now, eating is something that we grow up doing with other people. Eating can be like a companion. Eating can make you feel like you're not alone because it's so familiar. And so you may be eating too much or not eating enough because you feel so alone. Another reason why we feed our negative emotions, you want to distract yourself. This is me all day long. I'm bored. Underneath the boredom is fear. As long as I stay busy, I'm not thinking about the fact that the world feels like it's like ending. And so if I literally just kind of keep busy and I make the next meal and I stuff a brownie in my face and then I run back into my office, holy cow. It's making me realize that there's a lot of times during the day my feet aren't even on the ground because I don't want to be still. Because when I'm still, I think about what's going on and that scares the shit out of me sometimes. And so I reach for food, which distracts me. I reach for food because there's so much historical association with it, so it's comforting. And I reach for food because if I start making bread, which I'm going to do this afternoon, now I feel like I'm in control of something. And then finally, it fills time. You don't have to be still if you're cooking, if you're eating, if you're looking through the cupboards. So how many, can you see, give me a thumbs up in the comments if you see that you are eating emotionally. Give me a thumbs up if you see that, wow, this is an area where I have not been that self-aware. That's okay. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Okay. That's all right. This is one big giant learning opportunity. And part of what's cool about this, I love all the thumbs up. Yeah, me too. This was a huge thing for me. And the reason why we were doing this topic is because in our Facebook group, and by the way, if you're feeling lonely, if you're struggling with feeding your emotions and emotional eating, go to our Facebook group right here. It's open to the public. It is free. How do you find it? Go to Facebook and search Stay Connected with Mel Robbins, and you will find it. And what you'll also find is a global community. There's probably 10,000 people in here, at least at this point. And they cheer for you and they support you in making choices that are healthy for you. You see, I'm not here to say you should use the next 2 months to go in a boot camp and get in the best shape of your life. If that empowers you, fantastic, do it. What I do want you to do, though, regardless of what your personal goals are, is I want you to stay mentally strong. I want you to stay physically and emotionally and spiritually strong. And that begins with self-awareness. And this was a huge learning curve for me because I thought emotional eating, oh, I don't know that applies to me. Holy cow. I had no clue how much emotional eating I was doing. I had no clue how much I was cruising through the kitchen as a way to not feel bored and scared. I had no clue about this. And so I see that so many of you are doing this. And if you have questions, please ask them in the group, okay? I see a question right now. I have a partner who's emotionally eating at home. What do I do? Well, first of all, golden rule of change. You cannot change anybody else. You just can't do it. The most powerful thing that you can do if other people's habits are annoying you is don't nag them. Change your own behavior and bring a level of positivity and enthusiasm to what you're doing. And the people around you will start catching it, and they'll start noticing it, and they might ask you about it. That's how you change other people. You do it by example. You can ask the people that you love, I noticed that, you're eating more cookies than normal. Do you want some support in that? Or is that what you need to do right now? You should check in with the people that you love and ask them, what support do they need? What support do they need? I see another one. I'm eating emotionally, so I don't reach out to my ex. First of all, reaching out to your ex is only going to make you worse. You should block the ex, and you should use the 5-second rule to not reach out to the ex. Let me give you some strategies that you can deploy if you want to get more control over this. If you want to learn how to stand in the discomfort of boredom and not reach for food. If you want to learn to stand in the discomfort of fear and have the courage to move through it without eating something that you regret. Because that's the big cycle, is that you feel something negative. It triggers you to eat, so you numb the negative. And then what do you feel? You feel shitty about yourself. You make yourself wrong. And this is the cycle I want to stop. And I also don't want you to do this for 2 months straight, so that when we're done with this moment of collective uncertainty, that you emerge beating yourself up. Okay. So here's the number one thing. Number one rule for the entire quarantine. You ready? Here's your quarantine diet. There's only one thing you need to give up, and that's beating yourself up. Okay. You need to have tremendous compassion for yourself right now. You need to acknowledge that you're going through something. And while you may feel alone, you're not alone. It's not just happening to you. It's happening to the entire world. And none of us have ever gone through this before. And so we're sorting it out day by day. And you're doing the best that you can with what you got. And what's the big famous quote that we all love from Maya Angelou? When you know better, you do better. And so now you know that self-awareness is critical. Because self-awareness is being able to manage your emotions and your emotional response to things. It's having the courage to stand in discomfort and know that you're going to be okay. That's how you build resiliency. And it's connecting the dots between the eating that you're doing that's triggered by negative emotions and your ability to stand strong and face those negative emotions without numbing them, without distracting yourself from them. Because when you are able to stand strong and face them, then you can address them. And you can address them with better things than a brownie. You can tell what my go-to food is, right? So number one, stop beating yourself up. Number two, here's something. If it's out of sight, it's usually out of mind. And I love this study from Google. So Google loves data, and they did something called Project M&M. And they were curious to know if we simply took the M&Ms that they had in their New York City office, you guys, they used to have the M&Ms in this big glass jar that you could see. And they wondered if we move the M&Ms from the big glass jar out in the cafeteria, up into a cupboard in a box that was labeled M&Ms, but you couldn't see the M&Ms, what would happen? I'll tell you what would happen. Just moving the stuff that you like to reach for, that you really don't want to reach for, up to the top shelf, it has magical powers, because out of sight, out of mind. If you see it in your kitchen, if you see it when you open the cupboard immediately, it's called an emotional trigger. It immediately triggers the part of your brain that loves emotional eating, and you will reach for it. At Google, by simply moving M&Ms off the counter in the work cafeteria, in a glass jar, and putting it in an opaque jar with the label M&Ms up in a cupboard, the Google staff of 2000 ate 3 million less calories of M&Ms in a matter of weeks. Why? Well, because if you see it, you're going to reach for it. Okay. The second thing that I want you to do is, or third thing rather, is you can use the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule is the most powerful piece of science on the planet. It's a little brain hack. It helps with changing any habit. So if you have a habit of reaching for stuff or mindlessly eating or reaching for the bad thing instead of reaching for the good thing, whatever good and bad means in your world, you're going to use the 5-second rule to interrupt that behavior. You ready? Just count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you're reaching for the brownie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then turn around and reach for something else. You're going to use it as what we call a starting ritual in habit research to interrupt something that is not good for you, that you don't want to do, and push yourself to do something that is positive. The fourth thing that I love is I like a cheat day. I know that nutritional experts are mixed on this, but I personally love a cheat day because what's life without an ice cream sundae occasionally? And so I just have a cheat day once a week where I'm allowed to eat whatever the heck I want and not make myself wrong. And then that brings me to the fifth thing, and this may sound a little weird, but given that self-awareness and becoming self-aware of how you're eating emotionally and how negative emotions like fear and sadness and anxiety and stress are triggering you to eat things, and then that makes you feel bad, let's get you out of that cycle. Because really what's happening is you need a little training, we all do, in reminding yourself that you got this. You need a little training in reminding yourself that you're enough. You need a little training and reminding every single day that you are getting stronger and you are going to emerge from this a better version of yourself. And so here's what you can do. In the morning, take your toothbrush. And I brush with my right hand. That's my dominant hand. I want you to tomorrow morning switch your hand and brush with the hand you normally don't brush with, your non-dominant hand. For me, that means my left hand. And as you're brushing your teeth, you're going to notice, since you're brushing with the wrong hand, it's hard. And you really have to concentrate. And it makes your mind focus and activate. It's a little brain hack I'm teaching you. And as you're brushing your teeth, I want you to have a little mantra. You're brushing with the hand you don't normally brush with. Your mind is really paying attention. I want you to have a little mantra. You ready? It could be, I'm enough. It could be, I deserve to feel healthy today. It could be, I got this. I got this. It could be, today, I'm going to make some healthy choices because I deserve to feel healthy today. It could be, I'm worthy and I can make it happen. And as you brush with the hand that you normally don't brush with, while your mind is activated and paying attention, all that little mantras that you're saying to yourself, I got this, I'm enough. Today, I'm going to make healthy choices because my body deserves to have fuel, not fear. Today, I'm going to be proud of myself. As you do that, it infuses in your brain. That's not a scientific word. That's my word right now. But it literally gets programmed into your brain because as you are brushing your teeth and telling yourself you got this, and you're doing it with the hand you normally don't brush with, your mind is concentrating so it remembers it. And I want you to do this because I think so much of the emotional eating and so much of the fear and the anxiety is coming from this belief system that you're not going to be okay. It's coming from this belief system that you're not good enough. It's coming from this belief system that you're not strong enough to handle what life is throwing all of us. And you know what I say? That's bullshit. That is some old story, some old recording, some old programming that somebody else put in your mind, and you need to go to war against it. And you can do it simply by changing hands that you brush your teeth with and telling yourself and reminding yourself every morning the truth. And the truth is you do have this. You will get through this. You can be more self-aware. You can stand in discomfort. You can be resilient in the face of all the uncertainty and the fighting that you're seeing in the house and on the news and all of the fear and all of the stress that you feel. You can rise to this moment. You can learn something from it. You can survive and you will be proud of yourself. And so that's what I want you to know is available to you. That's what you can do. That's why I'm here every day, every weekday. I am here to remind you, you got this. I'm here to encourage you. I am here to tell you that no matter what's coming, together we are going to get through this. And when we look back on this moment of time, you will see that this challenge did what every challenge you've ever faced in your entire life has done. It has made you stronger. It has made you more self-aware, and it has made you a smarter, healthier, and more powerful version of the real you. So rise up today. You got it? Let me recap real quick. Self-awareness, it's a superpower, absolute superpower. And I want to find this quote that I had. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, I got it right here. Whatever is stressing you out right now, the answer is not in the fridge. It's not. The answer is in here. It's in tuning in and unpacking what's stressing you out and facing it. That's where the answer lies. And part of the opportunity of developing your self-awareness, which is your emotional resilience, it's your ability to control and manage your emotional response to things. Part of the opportunity of all this is you asking yourself when you are about to reach for something, why am I eating? Because when you ask yourself, why am I eating? You will literally get a one-way ticket right in here. You will come face to face with the negative emotion that you need to learn to stand with and feel. And the second you face it, something interesting happens with negativity. Ooh, it starts to disappear. Ooh, I see you, fear. I'm going to be okay. Oh, I see you, stress. I'm good enough to handle this. Oh, I see you, the idiot siblings that are fighting again. Have fun with that. I'm good. I'm going to come out of this and be strong and resilient. It's an opportunity for you to practice being comfortable with the uncomfortable. I'm telling you something. It may not be fun right now, and the days may be long, but when we come through this, you're going to look back and be like, whoa, wow. And I hope you look back and say, I am proud of myself. I am proud of what I learned. I'm proud of how I learned I can rely on myself and I can face something very hard and I can get through it. And dare I say, I can find moments of joy in this. Yes, we are warriors. Absolutely. I see all these comments coming in. I see you inspired, which means I am ready to turn you out onto the world so you can show other people what you're doing, because that's how we're going to get through this, everybody. Is you getting the encouragement you need from me, and then an army of tens of thousands of you going out into the world and spreading that positivity and that courage and the strength that comes from knowing yourself and standing in discomfort and showing people how you do it. So thank you. You have no idea how much you're giving me and to the world by being here every single day and watching Stay Connected with Mel Robbins. So what do I want you to do? First of all, I'd love for you to be telling all your friends about this. We're building a huge global community of encouragers, people that cheer for each other, people that are encouraging one another, people that remind you, you got this. People remind you, no, 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 don't run from the discomfort, stand in it, face it, and watch yourself get stronger by the day. You got this. I promise you, you do. I promise you. I will be here every day at the same time to remind you of this, okay? Even if my kid is up all night coughing and scared she's not going to breathe, which is what happened last night. I need to show her that she can face this and we will be okay. And so this is so important. Go to Facebook, search for Stay Connected with Mel Robbins. Get in this group so you get the encouragement you need so that you can encourage other people and be an encourager. And please share this with everybody. The easiest way to share, go to melrobbins.com/stay connected. We've got all of the episodes archived there. You can also share from YouTube. You can share from Facebook. Those are the easiest places to share. And I will be back tomorrow and every weekday, 9 a.m. on the East Coast or West Coast, 12 on the East Coast, 4 p.m. in the UK, 9:30 in India, and 3 a.m. in Australia for our friends in Australia. Tomorrow, we're talking about something really important, which is how do you process disappointment? Whether it's a wedding that's been canceled or college that's been canceled, or maybe you're just disappointed with how the people that you're isolating with are handling this. Maybe you're disappointed with the political response to this. Maybe you're disappointed in yourself. I don't know. But we're going to talk about how to process disappointment to get it the fuck out of your body, because I don't want it in your body. I want you to be able to feel what you need to feel, but not let it linger and make you feel down or constantly feel down. See how I'm shrinking? That's what disappointment does. We need to let you feel it. And tomorrow we're going to teach you how to feel it and move through it. In case nobody else tells you today, I'm going to tell you, I love you. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to be more self-aware. I believe in your ability to stop yourself and ask, why am I eating this? So that you have an opportunity to not feed the negative emotions and numb them and distract yourself or soothe yourself, but to stand in the negative emotions and start practicing discomfort and practicing resilience and practicing the courage to say, I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm going to just stand here. I'm going to be afraid and it's going to pass and I am going to be the one remaining. That is what's going to make you proud. Anyway, I love you. I'll see you on Facebook and I'll see you here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.